All right, we are five after. All right, good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing? Welcome, welcome. I hope you all are excited for session number two, Culinary Basics. We have our very own Chef Dre ready to teach us a little something while we transition and allow Dre to take over. I'm just going to ask if everyone can start turning those cameras on, please. We definitely need cameras on today. We're all hands on today.
Yes, we are.
Let's get them in. Let's
Hands
get them in.
on.
Let's get them in. While you guys
Oh,
are turning on your cameras, I want everyone to just please acknowledge and welcome one of our newest instructors who's joining us this evening. Welcome so much, Zambia. We are so excited and glad that you have joined us this evening and for such a special class, too. All right, let's see. Jalen, Alyssa, Malachi, Sanaya, Vani, Adrian, can we get these cameras on so we can get started? Aren't you guys excited? Are you
I
guys
mean,
ready?
a chef can't grade your dish if you can't see it. I'm just saying.
We can't
I'm
see
just
you.
saying. I can't taste the aromas through the video. If you don't turn your camera on. And I know I got some non-shy people in here. Put these cameras on. Malachi, you must be driving again. Oh, no response from Malachi. Oh, he is driving. He always says something.
I'm almost home.
Okay, cool. Fortunately, I did move it to the end of class today. So we're going to go through a learning lesson in the beginning, make sure everybody gets a chance to be home and be, near their what did Cassidy say earlier? Island, be near your island. So outstanding. So Chastity, you got anything else you want to share before we hop into this?
No, that's it. We want to get right into it, but I do want to ask if anyone's having any technical difficulties. Please let us know. If not, then we would appreciate if you can please turn your cameras on.
Please.
Thank you,
All
honey.
right.
Thank you, Sanaya. We want to see you guys. Come on. Okay, Alyssa, thank you.
Hold on 1 second. It's funny, as soon as you said technical difficulties, then I had it. Absolutely hilarious. All right, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Excellent. Well, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. My name is Chef Andre Blasingame, and I am CEO of SOAR, Hospitality and Travel YLC, one of the most popular and great youth programs that are out there, nonprofits that are really giving back to the community, helping our children really learn what's happening in society and giving them an opportunity not only from the business and entrepreneurship side, but now our favorite part, the hospitality and travel. And I'd like to welcome you to Culinary Basics. Now, these Culinary Basics is going to just be an overview of um, the culinary field with a background dealing with history. You're going to get an opportunity to do and see some knife cuts that make some of your favorite dishes so exquisite. And in addition to that, at the end, we're going to actually be putting together something very refreshing, a tomato and cucumber salad, something simple. Now for the advanced class, we're definitely going to get into some real cooking with the advanced class. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And so I got to give a disclaimer up front. Chef won't be doing it live. I have to do a recording because last night I had the unfortunate happen with, and I am now in a sling. So I only have one arm. Now, could I do it with one arm? Of course. Is it safe? Probably not. So what I'm going to do is I already have something that's pre-recorded for you guys to watch, and we're definitely going to have some fun in this particular class today. So let me start off with the good stuff. For y'all that don't know me, again, Chef Andre Blassingame, live here in Dallas, Texas, originally from Louisville, Kentucky, home of Derby and hot browns and racehorses, right? I got over 27 years of experience in the business and hospitality industry. I'm a chef, coach, speaker, entrepreneur. I do have a podcast, so if you guys in the summertime want to listen to a great podcast that talks about race, equity, social justice, and wealth, my hashtag is health and wealth of the future of my people. And who are my people? You, right? We come on at 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time on itrnradio.com or anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast. So you can go to Amazon, we're on Apple, Spotify. It's called The Recipe Menu Mondays with Andre Blassingame. Chef and owner of Heavenly Catering, also Heavenly Catering International, which is a consulting arm of Heavenly Catering. Menu Mondays, as you can see on there on itrnradio.com. I'm a certified mindset coach. If you've never heard of Dr. Eric Thomas, E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, you should go look him up. Very inspirational, very savvy businessman, and he's definitely all about giving back to the people in the community. Little tidbit about me: I had an opportunity to be like a third or fourth chef at Walt Disney World back in the early 2000s, and late 2000s. And it was an incredible experience down there at Walt Disney World. If you've never been to Walt Disney World, you should go. In my opinion, it was worth all the overrated prices. It was definitely worth it. And working there was even better because I probably did, I don't know, maybe about 8,000 covers a day with it. So if you know anything about that, for my military folks on the phone, feeding the whole brigade in like 15 minutes, coming back to back to back to back to back to back to back. You just keep seeing people coming, but then you got to produce like really high-end food that looks incredible on the plate for 8,000 people in about a 2.5 hour span. But that was a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun in Orlando and at Disney. In addition to that, I've been the executive chef in the corporate world for American Airlines, Dr. Pepper, two-time world food champ, Texas Super Chef, and of course my nonprofits near and dear to my heart, SOAR Hospitality and Travel, Old School to New School, where we help kids that are phasing out of foster care become predominant members of society by teaching them a craft, restoring old school cars, and having the ability to go sell it at auction. So they not only have a trade, but can get into the workforce. They'll also become entrepreneurs and business owners if they want to by selling the cars at auction. And then, of course, my culinary piece of it, BCA Global, Black Culinary Alliance, Mindful Eating for the Beloved Community. I will actually be in Southern New Jersey, September 24th and October 1st for a couple of events as a chef with BCA Global. So once I get everything concrete, I will be sending it to you guys. And if you're in the area, of Gloucester County, I hope I said that right. I will be there, and you guys can come and see me and my team do a great event with Aetna and CVS. So we'll be excited, big pantry food and everything else. But that's it for me. So, oh yeah, I'll definitely be at Rock the Block. Definitely be at Rock the Block. That's in early September. So you guys definitely want to come to Rock the Block. September 10th, I believe, it's going to be right there in Roselle. So you guys definitely want to be in the place for that one. All right, so enough about me. Let's hop into this. We're going to talk a little bit today about the history of culinary arts. And something isn't right. with my screen. That's not the right picture. My apologies. Working with this one hand. Difficult. Thank you guys for your patience, though. You guys are rock stars for that. Now, where is it? Right, so I can't find it. We're going to keep going. But this is about the history of culinary arts. Now, this plate that you see here is a little bit more modern with a combination of wasabi and a Chinese dumpling, some things that you would normally eat for the most part when you're eating sushi. But those are things that are a little bit more modern in thought. So they trace the roots of culinary back to the 16th century. As far as it becoming something that was mainstay. It started with a gentleman that decided he was going to take food that was in the community and turn it into soups and savories and things of that nature, right? He was going to, what is going on with my computer? Can y'all still see my screen? Okay.
Yeah, it's not.
Yes.
It's not maximized. How about that?
Now that you're back.
Okay. Now, can you see my backup screen too? I have two screens that are going up. It's got words across the screen. No, you just see the picture in the 16th century.
Yes.
Perfect. I don't know what's going on with this thing. It's not working. But anyway, continue. As I was said, in the 16th century is kind of where the restaurant concept was born. It was a gentleman that took an idea to change his inn into a place for people to come in and buy. And so the word restaurant comes from a French word called restaureur, right? Which I thought was funny because I had to actually go listen to it on Google to make sure I was pronouncing it right. It's like, yeah, he said restaureur. Sounds more like restroom than what it is, but it actually means to restore. So the origins of a restaurant is to restore. So when you go in, that's why you want to have a pleasant experience. That's why you want to go in and have the food that you eat. You enjoy the experience. It's like a restoration or a gift that's given back to you when you go in. Because most of the time when we go in, we're going in for nourishment. If we're going for breakfast, we haven't eaten, might be starving. If we go in for dinner, we go for lunch. We're looking to restore, put something back. So during the 16th century, the word restorative was used to describe rich and highly flavored soups and stews that were capable of restoring lost strength, right? And so what's great about that is that that's exactly what food does. Food gives you energy. It is fuel, right? And when you find the right fuel for your body, man, it's limitless on what you can achieve, mentally and physically. But that's how it was originally. The meaning in French means to restore. So that's why, when we go in restaurants, we restore, right? So that's how the 16th century was. Now we're going to move. The 17th century, it was kind of a little bit more the same way. And these are some of the foods that you see that they ate during this time. Now, the 18th century is where they have recorded that the first modern restaurant opened, right? So you definitely want to make sure that you keep you make sure you want to take some of these notes because there may be a quiz later. Maybe. I don't know. Right. So I hope you're taking notes on this first half. But the first restaurant that they claimed to open at the time was in 1765 when a gentleman by the name of Monsieur Boulanger, and he was a Parisian tavern keeper. And what he did is he was creating these incredible dishes, and he hung a sign outside of his tavern advertising the sale of, he called it special restorative, right? So special restaurant, basically. And so when people come and buy a restaurant, equated to restore, so of course they would stop in. Now, what is interesting is, if anybody put in the chat, take a guess, it was a soup or stew. Take a guess of what kind of stew or soup you think he was serving. They wanted people to come in. I'll give you about 30 seconds. I'm gonna play my own Jeopardy music in the background. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun today, you guys. Tomato soup, beef soup, tomato soup. If anybody gets it, oh man, they're gonna get extra points at the end of this course. Chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side. French onion, that's a great guess. Cucumber, tomato, mushroom, chicken soup. Great. All right. So, just so you know, I don't think any of y'all would have got it. He was serving a stew that was made of sheep feet in white sauce. Yes, I said it right. Sheep feet in white sauce. And you think, we eat almost in anything. Now, he was serving it as a delicacy to restore people, right? But it was special and it was restorative and it was relative to their time. No different than eating lamb or eating, there's some people that eat pig's feet, some people that eat, cow's feet and every part from the rooter to the tutor, right? But he was serving that, and his niche at that time, if you will, is that he had family style dining. So family style dining was very popular in most cultures back then because the family sat and ate together, unlike how we do now, where we get these individual plates, right? When we go out to eat. Back then, everybody sat together and we all passed the same bowl, same plate, everything went around and sat at the table together. So they kind of got away from that as we got more modern and people got more, I don't eat what they eat. So, that's how that came about. But that was in 1765. First modern restaurant was opened. So let's move to the 19th century. So the 19th century, by the 19th century, there was some evolution in the food. That's when it really started getting into garnishes. It really started getting into making the food look incredible and over the top. As you can see a picture of some of the food that they had back then. It's an older depiction, but if you look, if we saw that in now time, it would be visually stunning just because of the different things that they put on top of it, the way they garnished it, et cetera, et cetera. But the restaurants in Paris by this time were serving elaborate meals. Grande cuisine is what they said in Spanish, dozens of courses, and they were all elaborate, prepared, and garnished. Okay. So the modern day chef that you see now really began its roots in the 19th century to take those dishes to the next level with garnish, plating, positioning, things of that nature. But that was the biggest contribution to the 19th century, the fact that they wanted to take it up to the next level. Now, this next person I'm going to talk about is what they like to call the father of culinary design, right? His name is Auguste Escoffier, okay? He was French-born chef and restaurateur, and he was a culinary writer who was very, very popular. If you know anything about Escoffier, anything about cooking, they would call him the roots of the modern day chef, because what he did is he updated the traditional French cooking methods and created what they called the brigade. I don't know why I can't talk today. The Brigade de Cuisine. And basically what that is the order of how you operate in the restaurant, okay? And so when I say the order, like you have your executive chef, your sous chef, we've, of course, in America, we've changed some of the names, but that's what it is. So you have your sauté chef, which is your saucier. That's what it is in French. That's the one that makes your sauces. You have a fish chef, which is your poissonniere. I always get that one wrong, but it takes care of your fish. You have your rôtisseur, which is your roast chef. You have your grillardin, which is your grill chef. The fruitier, yeah, you see my muddy, I put my muddy in there. That's your fry chef, right? Then you have your entree preparer, you have your soup chef, your vegetable chef, your roundsman. Now, your roundsman was that's something you don't hear too often in the kitchen these days, but your roundsman was well-rounded. He could pretty much fit him or her in, well, at that time it was him, but you can fit them in any position and they will be able to strive and they will be able to do it very well. Yes, it's a lot of tongue twisters when it comes to French cuisine. When I was going to culinary school, I used to be able to say them great, but I haven't had to use them because I use the American interpretations. So it's a lot of fun. And then my personal one is what they call the pantry chef or the garde manger, right? If you've ever heard that term before, the garde manger is the cold prep chef, right? So any salads anything cold that comes out of the kitchen when you're at a restaurant, more than likely it's the garde manger that prepared that, right? So, and then of course there's the patisserie, which is the pastry chef, which a lot of my friends are, pastry chefs. And, I actually started off baking and probably was a better baker than I was a chef for quite some time. And then, gradually came over to just being the chef. But those are some of the things that Escoffier put together so that we would have a hierarchy or have a system in the back of the kitchen. I mean, even the way he prepared food, even some of the processes that was in the food, things of that nature, from roasting to grilling and the 7 mother sauces and the different things that come with the basics of, culinary. He was the father, if you will, of those. And so here we're gonna watch a quick video about it. You guys see the video?
I mean, I hear you ask how important.
Yes.
No,
it.
and the thing is, like,
okay, cool.
How important is Escoffier? They like Escoffier was everything. I mean,
我告诉你，你在门口，下次在门口都要参观再进来。
Cover. Of
Thank you, Kevin.
The Cuisine, Escoffier's classic book, tattooed on his entire back. That's how important Escoffier is.
He came, he saw, he cooked. His name was Auguste Escoffier, and like many revolutionaries, his goal was modest. He just wanted to completely change the way we eat.
Escoffier was a revolutionary in that he democratized access to French cuisine. It was a very medieval, guild-like atmosphere. And Escoffier says, no, I'm going to write it all down. And by writing it all down, I can make it accessible to anyone. That was a revolutionary idea that changed cooking around the world.
Auguste would say to his employees, make it simple, make it simple, make it simple. My name is Michel Escoffier, and I'm a great-grandson of a famous chef who is regarded today as the father of modern cooking.
Inspiring future chefs and future tattoos, Escoffier codifies the cuisine, giving detailed step-by-step instructions.
Where you have your grandmother saying, oh, I just put a pinch of this and a pinch of that, Escoffier was the one who go, it's a quarter teaspoon.
And he wanted to introduce scientific principles into the cuisine. And one of those key principles, if you like, is the idea that these things can be expressed as a set of laws and rules and set down in a book, so that the dish you can make today, you can make exactly the same dish again tomorrow.
The Guide Culinaire, which Auguste Escoffier published in 1903, is really, even today, the Bible to every great chef.
Escoffier was the first one to just canonize everything and to put down on paper everything that there was in cooking. Before him, there were no recipes. And after him, the entire restaurant business began. All of a sudden, people like me started frying octopus legs because of Escoffier.
Now that chefs have a manual on how to cook, Escoffier organizes a way to cook these recipes on a massive scale by implementing the brigade system, an army-like reorganization of the kitchen staff.
If I work for Escoffier, I've got one thing that is regularity. I know my place and I know what I'm doing.
He will appoint chefs that will be responsible for particular types of food. They will have sous chefs, and the sous chefs will have assistants, and each person reports to the person above them. I think it's all for the better. It's great.
Today, the kitchen. Tomorrow, the world.
So that was just a little background on Escoffier and how he modernized how we cook today. He didn't necessarily create cooking or being a chef, but what he did was he gave us a system for us to stay consistent, repeat the same dishes, day after day, and put it in a format for us to learn very quickly how to be excellent at that. So, a little bit about Escoffier. All right, so let's get to the 20th century. Modern day. Now, the 20th century is full of stuff. So, in the 20th century, the culinary philosophy now is based on the rejection of overly rich and complicated dishes and emphasize healthy eating. Okay? So, with healthy eating, ingredients being fresh and of the highest quality. Now, there was something that was critically important in the United States that happened in 1965. Besides the Voters' Right Act, it was called the Immigration Act. And in the Immigration Act, it was allowing people from so many different countries to come in without persecution, if you will. And because of that, it led to us here in America getting more bold ethnic flavors. We already knew about slavery coming here and how the slaves took food that was probably not the best at the time and turned it into delicacies that we continue to eat this day. But then you had a large number of Asians that were coming in from Vietnam and from Thailand. And by the late 70s, we were over our type of food. We wanted to enjoy some of that cuisine, right? And so restaurateurs and chefs began Americanizing French cuisine during this time. A young woman by the name of Alice Waters opened a place called Chef Panis in 1971. And her goal was to continue to serving fresh food and rejecting the current trend of package and processed foods. So from when you're going from the 19th century to the 20th century, people are still picking their food. They're still out there at the farm. They're still getting fresh food that's coming out there. And then, of course, you got to the mid 30s, 40s, and 50s, started getting into more processed food after the industrial age. And by the 70s, TV dinners were normal. To get a hungry man dinner was normal. Pop it in the microwave, man, you're feeding the whole family for this, right? So it was important that she stayed true to the roots by opening this up and kind of getting away from that TV dinners concept. And because of that, she's been dubbed the person who started the new American cuisine because of this. And her culinary philosophy, her name is Alice Waters, spread across the United States with farmers and chefs beginning to work together to, make fresh, locally grown foods available as a I think it was called the period of bold experimentation. I believe that's what it was called during that time from the 70s to the 80s, because all the processed food was coming in and they're still doing fresh, locally grown, organic as they would now, in growth. So chefs began combining ingredients and preparing methods for various array of cuisines. And it leads us to what we do a lot now. I know our company here at Heavenly Catering, we do it pretty regularly, fusion cuisine. And fusion cuisine is basically a combination of cultures blended together to create a new dish. It's kind of like Korean barbecue, right? It's a combination of barbecue that was here in the United States or Korean fried chicken. It's a combination of what that was created here in their culture and turned into a whole new blooming great meal, right? And then the farm to table movement, which is one that I'm a fan of right now, of getting the stuff straight from the farmer, putting it right on your plate, and cooking it right in your home, even, planting your own gardens and things like that in the back. So primarily locally raised ingredients influenced by chefs to serve fresh seasonal foods that's produced, within miles of the restaurant. And it's just been, incredible to have that. So that's looking at the 20th century. So this next video here is when you get a little bit more of going into the kitchen, right? You get to get a little bit of comedy. And there are some chefs out there that's like this, but I don't know if y'all have ever seen this, but I can get this to go back. Just a little comedy break,
Drew, come forward.
Yes, chef, this is a chicken quiche with cremini mushrooms, baby spinach, and feta cheese.
Unbelievable. Audra, I have a huge problem with this dish. It's that you haven't made it for me sooner.
Thank you, Chef.
Because if you had, Drew, then I would know how good you are at cooking food that's bad.
I'm sorry, Chef.
And when I say bad, I mean Michael Jackson bad.
Thank you, Chef.
You know how he looked really, really bad at the end of his life?
Chef, I'm sorry. I don't know if you like the dish or not.
You don't know if I like the dish or not? Well, let's put it this way. Pack your knives, get out, you're off the show.
Sorry, Chef.
Because you should be working in the finest restaurant in the world.
Thank you, Chef.
Just not any world that I live in. In conclusion,
Key and Peele, a new sketch series, premieres.
So the reason I played that is, one, I think it's quite funny. Two, because that is both ends of the spectrum in the kitchen when you're dealing with a chef, especially in the 20th century and with the food. On one end, you'll have a chef that says it's incredible. Another one, wants to throw the whole plate at you. And I love the way that they did that balance between the two. Like, yes, it was great, but nowhere I would be on the planet. So if you ever think about being in a kitchen, right? If you ever have that inkling to want to be a chef or work under a chef, be prepared to get both of those. And yes, it is a parody of Hell's Kitchen with Gordon Ramsay. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Bonnie, it can be confusing, but once you get in the kitchen and you get to working, when you have a love for it, you have a love for it from the beginning. So it's okay. I'm gonna try to unconfuse it as much as possible. All right, continuing on. Oh yeah, here we are. We are now at a stopping point. This is perfect. All right, you guys. So we're at that point. Let me get my screen to act right. Where it's time to take a break. So you guys go take a 15-minute break. It's going to give you an opportunity to go get your ingredients, get your knife, your cutting board, because you cannot cut up your parents' islands and counters. I will not be responsible for that happening. Okay. It's not going to be Chef Andre's fault because I gave you a list. The only thing that we're omitting, actually, you know what? I may still be able to do it to fill in a little bit of time, is the 10-minute boiled egg. So I know I put that in the list and to show you guys how to do that. But go get your ingredients. Go get your tomato. Go get your your onion, your cucumbers, your Italian dressing, and get set up. We're gonna take a 15-minute break. It is now 7:08 on the East Coast, 6:08 here in Texas. So that means we will come back at 6:22. My math right, Cass? I think so. All right, and we start the break now. You can cut your cameras off until we come back from break. When we are cooking or prepping, you will need your cameras on. Appreciate you. What's up, good people? This is Chef Dre Blast.
let your feet stamp and whatever you want, just feel it. If we feel it. Here we go.
Wasn't so real. It was only a song. Wasn't so real.
Andre, are you speaking?
Nope, I'm not. Hold on one second.
Oh, okay.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. We are back. All right, everybody, turn your cameras on. Yeah, y'all know how this goes. All right, so gonna hop right back into it. Let me share this screen. Turn off my timer. Make sure we get this right. Pause momentarily for further technical difficulties. You know, Rosie, while I'm fixing this technical issue over here, you want to make an announcement about our next upcoming event, Rock the Block?
Absolutely. So on September 10th, let me turn down my background music of these little kitty shows. On September 10th, we are excited to announce our second annual Rock the Block. That will be held in Roselle, New Jersey at on West 7th Avenue. This event is a community networking event where we are inviting our students, the community, community leaders, legislators, you name them, we're inviting them. We have vendors here, or we will have vendors rather that day, and we are excited to have them participate. And we want our youth to come out, and you all can help support the event. We're going to have, for our first time ever, it'll be our second time in general, but for our first time, we will be doing a barbecue where Chef Dre will be taking over the grill, and we will need some hands on deck. So we're excited to announce that. So if anyone is interested, if you are local and you're ready to participate and get your hands wet and, you know, do some chefing on that day, please let Chef Dre or Miss Chastity know so that we can put you guys on the list to come out and support, have fun, and cook up a storm for the community. Back at you, Dre.
Appreciate you, El Presidente. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right, kids, gonna get back. Now we're on to knife cuts. So the knife cuts we're gonna be doing today are very basic. And again, of course, you know, I got one arm. So I had to pull up a video to substitute the live demonstration I was going to do. But so knife cuts are one of those things that are critically important when you're making a dish, because it can make or break the presentation of the dish, making sure that it has the, you know, the right size. And most of the words are going to be in French, and I'll tell you what they are in English, you know, small dice, large dice, etc. So I want you to pay attention in this next video to the medium dice, because that's what we're going to be using to make the cucumber salad. And it's going to be interesting how everybody interprets, you know, a medium, a small dice, or brunoise, or tournée. But I want you guys to watch this video so you can see the basic knife cuts. But I want you to pay attention to the cuts that are about 1 inch to 2 inches square, which would be a small dice and a medium dice, because that's what we're going to be using to create your tomato and cucumber dish. Okay, so and make sure that I do have sound. I do. All right. All right, so I'm gonna pause that real quick. Give you guys an opportunity to write that down, commit it to memory. It's important. Batnet, Julienne, fine Julienne, fine Benoit, medium dice, large dice, and Benoit. All right, which would be, Benoit is basically a smaller than small dice, and then a fine one is even smaller than that. And these are some of the basic cuts that you'll see. And when you start going into restaurants, you'll notice this in your soups or on your plates when they're using a Batnet, or when they're using a Julienne or a fine Julienne in your salads. Fine Juliennes are usually your shredded carrots that you see in the bag at the grocery store. That's usually a fine Julienne, right? So pay attention to these. I hope everybody wrote these down. Did everybody get that carrot and potato that I also put on the list? Raise your hand if you did. If not, it's okay.
Wait, if we got what?
Carrot and a potato. If not, it's okay. As long as you got your tomato, cucumbers, and onions. But
That for this salad?
No, it's not for this salad. It's actually for practicing the knife cuts.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
We can put it in that salad with excusing the potato. We want to saute it and season that one up. But the carrot can go in that salad. But no, this was just to practice the knife cuts. All right, going back to the video. He took a round root vegetable, carrot, and turned it into squares. This is going to be important. Julienne, one of my personal favorites to do. And the name of all these cuts are down in the bottom right corner. So I hope you wrote them down, because they're going to ask you about these cuts. Now that fine Brunoise is great for soups. Now pay attention to this medium dice because this is what you're going to be cutting your tomatoes, onions, and cucumbers into. This is gonna be fun. So a chiffonade is a basic way of shredding greens in a presentable manner that you'll see in the video. All right, class participation time. Who wants to tell me what knife cut is in the bottom left corner?
Square.
Hilarious, hilarious. What is it actually called though? Come off mute. Somebody's got to remember.
Large dice?
Large dice, that is correct. Who was that put large dice in there? Was that you, Nene?
Quentin.
Quentin, okay. Quentin put it in the chat. Who said it on video? Good job. All right, top left corner. Which one is that?
Julian.
The top left corner?
Mm-hmm.
Sure?
No. I'm on the left.
Anybody else want to take a guess? Good job, Quentin. It's the batonnet.
Wow, Quentin is on the roll. Unmute yourself, Quentin.
Right? Join in the discussion. You know, the julienne is the one that's in the middle because the fine julienne is the one to the far right of it. Does that make sense, Nene, when you're looking at it? Batonnet, julienne, fine julienne. All right. So, far right middle. What was that one called? Let's see if Quentin can get this trifecta. Anybody? Yeah, the 3 carats that are in the middle to the far right. It's the smallest of all the cuts.
Minced.
Minced. You know what? That is not a bad answer. Because in some places it is considered minced, but not when you're cutting it into tiny squares. Fine Julie, nope, that's the one that's the long strips from the Brunoise. Anybody else want to take a guess?
Somebody, Vonnie said.
Oh, I see it. Somebody said fine Brunoise. Yes, Vonnie. That is correct. Good job. Clap it up for yourself for being dope. Dope in real life. That's what I tell people. You're dope in real life. Outstanding. All right, everybody got the kitchen stuff together? So we're going to skip past this video and go to the next video. All right, so everybody get your ingredients out, get your knives out. You know, if you prefer to wear gloves, wear gloves. If you have not washed your hands, wash your hands. It's important. You always wash your hands before you prepare any food, right? Whether you go into the industry or not, whether you're at home, you know, whether you play with your hair, you want to wash your hands before you cut up food because you might be serving this to other people. So I have a video that I recorded a while ago that I'm going to have you guys watch on how to make this salad. It's super duper simple. And the great thing about it is you can pick a different dressing to put in this salad. Now, my particular dressing I put in there is Italian. And the one I was going to do today was balsamic until, you know, unfortunate things happen. So what you guys are going to do, you're going to watch this video, you're going to take some notes, and you're basically going to duplicate what I did. Now, this video doesn't have a plate presentation, right? So just make sure that you put it in the bowl, you mix it up, you taste it, and tell me what you think. All right, let's go. What's up, good people? This is Chef Dre Blast coming at you again with the recipe for today. Now, today's dish has a great background in personal in my life because it was something that I had an opportunity to experience growing up. My father, on Mondays, that was the only day he had off. On Mondays, he and I would go out together and always go out to eat and have some time and go to these different restaurants. And he liked those cafeteria type restaurants like a Blue Boar or Luby's, what else, Irma's, different things like that. And so they had this particular salad that I really enjoyed as a kid. So this particular salad it's a popular one, definitely a great Southern dish, and it's very simple to make, very easy to make, very easy to duplicate. It's my personal favorite. As a kid, I wasn't a big salad fan, right? And so, but this was one salad that I enjoyed on a regular basis. It was crisp. It was refreshing. It had nutrients in it. It was fun. And it had two of my favorite fruit and vegetable in it. Had tomato and onion. You typically can't go wrong with me with tomato and onion. You know what I mean? So so today we're going to make Chef Andre's cucumber and tomato salad. It's very simple to make. We've done very minimal modifications to it to make it enjoyable for you. So the first thing we're going to do is let's discuss the ingredients, all right? So first ingredient, heirloom tomato. Now this particular tomato came out of a great friend of mine's garden that she grows cucumbers and tomatoes, jalapenos. Funny story about the jalapenos. She tells me that she can never keep her jalapeno tree because the rabbits in her backyard love to eat them. Who'd have thought? But it is Texas, right? I expect jalapenos to go real fast, especially with the rabbits. So first ingredient, heirloom tomato. Second ingredient, cucumbers, coming out of the same community garden, right? It's impressive that she has that community garden because before I even talked to her about it, she was already growing. And so it's great for the community, fresh fruits and vegetables coming out of your own backyard, getting back to your own sustainable source of food. And then last, my favorite, the onion. I'm one of those people that could literally bite into an onion and eat it like it was an apple. I'm not going to do it today because I need to cut it up for this salad. But you might see it in another video. Who knows? It could be coming. All right? And then the last ingredient that goes into it is Italian dressing. Now, typically we would make that from scratch. But I wanted to give something that was a little bit more cost effective and something that was faster on time. So you could purchase one at your local supermarket, farmer's market. It's usually less expensive because all the ingredients together is good if you're going to do it on a big scale. But on a smaller scale, if you're making it maybe one time, a couple times a week, go with a pre-bought Italian dressing, and it's a very simple marinade, okay? So let's get into making this salad. Boom. As you can see, we got our ingredients on the table. Take that onion off. Take that off. We're going to start with this. All right. So we're starting with the tomato. So what I want you guys to do, you're going to get your knife, put in your gloves, or if you don't put on your gloves, you're going to cut your tomato in half. And I'm not going to tell you how half. You cut it in the half that you think. It's all interpretation. And then you're going to cut that tomato into a medium dice that you just saw from the video. Okay? Not the small dice or the large dice, the medium dice. Make sure you have all your equipment. You're going to need a bowl to put your tomatoes, cucumbers in. It doesn't have to be a large bowl. You're making it just for yourself, but you want to have a bowl to put that into. And I'm going to give you guys, it should take you roughly about 3 minutes to do it, right? So, and since we have probably about 20 minutes left, I'll give you guys about 3 minutes. So you're going to cut it into a medium dice and go.
Andre, you're asking for everyone to turn on their cameras, correct?
Yes. So Kevin, Jalen, Christian, need you to put those cameras on so I can see you working. Adrian, you too. Come on, Malachi. I know you. I saw you sharpening your knife when I started. Come on, let's go. Two more minutes. If anybody is done, it's okay. Raise your hand. If you need a little bit more time, let me know. If you have any questions, come off mute and ask. Yeah, I'm with Rosie. You guys do look like y'all know how to do this. So, and I love some of the facial expressions. Like, am I doing this right? The focus. My next class, I'm gonna teach everybody how to hold a knife so you don't mess up your wrist. Got Liv up there taking pictures. Let's go. Let's go. I love it. What they say, do it for the grams. Anybody finish? I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Put a hand up if you have finished with your tomato. You can just put your hand up since most of your cameras are on.
I see Vonnie. Vonnie's finished. Nene. Sanaya.
Melissa, okay. So now, okay.
Okay.
All right. So, with that being said, majority of the class is ready. I'm going to go ahead and continue. We're going to move on to the cucumber, if I remember correctly. This tomato. Boom. Tomatoes done. Next,
Should we
we're
put it in
rocking
the
with
bowl?
this cucumber. Oh, yeah. Say that one more time.
Should we place it in the bowl? If you're
Yeah,
done
so
with
you put it, because you're going to mix them all together. So there's no reason to put them separate. Now, I put mine separate in there because I was doing the demonstration for the video. But you're mixing it all together at the end of the recipe. So you can put it all in the bowl after you cut it up. Now we're going to hit these cucumbers. This cucumber. Oh, yeah. Boom. Bonnie's laughing at me. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Quentin, don't shake your head like that. You got this. Yes, you do. All you need is the knife. It's all right. Cut it right down the middle. Cut it right down the middle. It doesn't matter either way. It's your interpretation. That's what's great about cooking. There's some things that are fundamental, but then there's some things that, you know, you can just do on your own. So what you're going to do from there is, remember, we're cutting this into a medium dice. So you're going to take that cucumber. I see you, Millie Rockin'. Do your thing, Robotin. So Quentin, what you're going to do with that cucumber is, remember in the video when you had to cut it into a square. So what did you have to do? You got to cut it on each side until you form it into a square so it can be a medium dice. Yep, cut off the end. Boom. Lay it flat. Yep, and cut off another end. Lay it flat. Yep, turn it, cut off another end. Lay it flat, turn it, cut off that end. Boom. Now you have a square to make medium dice. Now the medium dice is going to be about a 1/2 inch long. So if you know anything about a ruler or inches, when you look at your finger, from the tip of your first finger to that first indentation, for most people, it's about 1 inch. So when you cut your medium dice, it's about halfway to the middle of your first finger. Okay? Have some fun. It's okay to laugh. I love it. Adrian, are you cutting at your game board? Oh, you're
I was going to ask if Naomi's eating the product before she gets it done. Are you eating your food, Naomi?
Hey, hey, you know
You're
what?
making me hungry and jealous at the same time.
That's what you call chef discretion in the kitchen. Chef discretion in the kitchen. Because you got to taste everything as a chef. You got to taste everything. Right?
I'm so jealous right now.
Excellent. Look at Miss Kennedy. I see you over there. I see you.
Yeah, I'm forgetting how to turn it and get it a square. So,
All right, so remember, cut off the ends. Start with the ends to make them square.
so cut this off.
And cut the other end off. And then you cut each side like that, right? You cut it down the right side, then you turn it to the side that you cut. So turn your cucumber towards the side, boom. Then you would cut off that side.
Whoop.
Olivia says she's still on the tomato. Y'all gotta give her some time.
You know, take your time. We got 12 minutes of class left. Take your time. Malachi, you're just an overachiever, man. Don't be like that.
I need to extend this one.
Excellent. Is anybody finished? Cool. Pick up your onion if you're finished already. Pick up your onion. Now, the first thing you want to do with your onion, you want to peel it. Oh, yeah. If you happen to cut yourself, go wash your hands, peroxide, alcohol, Band-Aid. All right. All cooking, all prep stops if you cut yourself. You don't keep going just for the class. You go take care. Safety first, always. Always. So if you're finished with the cucumber, you got that in a bowl. Get the onion, and you're going to peel it. There's about 2 to 3 layers that you need to peel on your onion, whether it's red, yellow, or white. Now, it's important that after you peel it, do not cut off the root end. This is a little chef secret. The root end is the one that looks like it belongs in the ground. Okay? It looks like it may have many roots that have come out of it. It's not the point. It's kind of brown on the opposite end. That is correct. So that end, do not cut that off, because that's the end that holds in the gases that cause you to cry. Okay? So when you cut it, don't cut it on the round half down the middle, right? You want to cut it where you have, how can I explain this? Where you have half of the roots on one half of the oven and the other half of the roots on the other half of the oven, where you can lay onion, where you can lay it flat. And if you don't do it that way, that's fine. I love interpretive cooking. I'm hungry. Who's selling diced cucumbers? Hilarious. Oh, we going too fast? It's okay. Take your time.
I have a question.
Yes.
Repeat that last part of how we're supposed to, like how you want us to cut the onion real quick.
All right, let me see your onion. Hold it up to the camera. Okay, now turn it to that little bit of root side that you have. You should have a root side that looks like, almost like dirt, right? So now you're gonna take that onion and you're gonna lay it flat. Okay? So then when you go to do a medium dice on an onion, okay? Now I don't think the video actually showed it. What you're going to do for the medium dice on the onion is you're going to start on the opposite side of the root of the onion. Okay? You'll take your knife forward and you're going to make 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to make 4 cuts going from, if you're left-handed, you're going to go left to right. I'm sorry, if you're right-handed, you're going to go right to left. If you're left-handed, you go left to right. Okay? So lay it flat, and you're going to do cuts that look like this. If I had 2 arms, it'd be so much easier. You'll do like this, like this, like this, like that. But don't cut all the way through the root. Because again, that root attached to it keeps the gases from causing you to cry. You ever seen people that cut up onions and be like, oh my God, why am I crying? Because they cut the end off.
Chef Dre, I think this is the first time I cut an onion without crying.
I told you it's a simple little chef trick. It's a simple chef trick. Everybody always cut that end off because, of course, most of the time people don't eat it, right? But when you leave it on there, you can cut your onion in half and have a piece of it on each side, be able to cut the onion. It doesn't matter how old the onion is, red, yellow, white, doesn't matter the onion at all.
I got a question.
Talk to me.
How am I supposed to do this?
Okay, so like I was telling Nene, can you see my hand? Okay. Yeah. You're gonna take your knife. Now don't cut all the way through the back of the root, okay? Because the root is what keep you from crying. So you're gonna cut, because you're right-handed. So you're gonna start from the right and go to the left. You're gonna cut, yep, just like that, cut all the way down through. Then cut to the middle.
Adrian's
cut it on
still
the side.
feeling.
Perfect. Leave it like that. Then you turn it like that. Now wait a minute. Don't cut that yet. Next, what you're doing is you're going to cut it straight across the middle. So take your fingers and do like this. Everybody pause real quick. See my fingers. Do I have something round over here? I don't have anything round over here. So imagine this is the onion. You take your fingers and you can put it right here on top of that onion as my camera went away. Okay, and then you're going to cut it this way. Quentin, turn your knife the other way. You're cutting it this way. Not on top, you're cutting it sideways.
I broke the onion.
That's all right. Put what you broke, go ahead and put it in your salad. Now turn your hand and your knife sideways. So you see this cup? Imagine this is your onion. Your knife is going to be facing down. The blade of the knife will be facing down. Perfect. Then you're going, nope, the other way. Yes. And then you put your finger on top and slice straight through the middle of the onion. So you get all the way to the end. Now you can cut the little root off. And then put it in the salad. Anybody else need help? Good job, Q. And if we're going too fast, it's okay. Take your time.
Cucumbers done. Last, we're gonna cut up the good old onion.
Yeah, I'm a little goofy in these videos. Pay no attention to me.
Boom. Onions done.
Now, in this video, I actually did sliced onions. It's something that we call a rough cut. So once you learn all your knife cuts, you'll be able to do, rough cut or a rough chop, which is what most people that don't know knife cuts do. All right.
Chef Dre, there's a question in the chat. Are you cutting
the whole thing, right? No, remember I told you in the beginning, cut half the onion. Now, if you like onion like I do, I'll put a whole onion in mine because I really like onion. But if you're not a huge onion fan, remember in the beginning, when you cut it in half, we're only cutting that 1/2 of onion in there. And if you cut it all up.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Like, what about like everything else? We just cutting half the onion and cutting everything else?
Yes. Everything else you cut all of it.
Okay, because I was gonna say I cut this whole thing.
Yep, it's okay. Because see, onions, okay. So there's something in the culinary world called mirepoix. Mirepoix is like the basis of soups and a lot of stuff that you eat. It's a combination of celery, carrots, and onion, right? And so what you do is that they're all equal parts with the exclusion of the onion. There's usually half the amount of onion because of the potency that it has in the food, right? So if you put a whole onion in your tomato cucumber dish, you're going to have a strong onion flavor to it. Like I said, I like onion. So for me, it's perfect. But everybody isn't like that. So you only want to put half of it. So the ratio is, and the recipe was in the email. So the ratio is 1 whole tomato, 1 whole cucumber, half an onion, and then 1/4 cup of Italian dressing and pepper to taste. All right. Let's see what time is it. I got 3 minutes. All right. So all that is done. I'm going to hit play. Go get your Italian dressing.
Already. So now I'm going to go grab a bowl. We're going to mix all this together. We're going to be done.
Yeah, you only need about 1/4 cup, which is about 2 ounces. Now,
all right,
if you
now we've
get
got
a little
our
bit
bowl.
more, you do
Let's
1/4
mix up
cup.
these ingredients. We're going to put this onion in there first.
And as you see me pour it in there, you can tell that the ratios are different as far as what we put in there.
Put these tomatoes. You like tomatoes? I like tomatoes. Then we're going to take some of this Italian dressing. Pour it right
I got a
on
question.
Talk to me.
You can do this with your hand.
So, okay, so I got it all. Do I also have like lettuce and kale? Do I put the lettuce and kale down?
Now, for this particular salad we're making, you don't need lettuce and kale. Now, you can add it to it if you want to, but for this salad, you don't need it. It's totally up to you. Also, you can use that salad and kale as a garnish underneath the cucumber tomato salad as a presentation piece. So you don't have to put it in there. You can. It wasn't a requirement for this recipe. Good question.
Or you can mix it together if you want to do it with, a spoon or something else. I put on my gloves so that we can go ahead and put it together. Uh-oh. Had a small setback with it falling out. Outstanding. And there you have it. Cucumber, onion, and tomato salad. Chef Andre's way. Pretty simple, direct, to the point. Something that you can easily make on any day. It's very refreshing and great, especially during the summertime. That's when I definitely make it, and it goes great with just about any entree that you put out there, man. It's light, it's flavorful, lots of nutrients in it, and you should definitely enjoy it. So that's it. Chef Andre's tomato and cucumber salad. Very simple, inexpensive, great for the palate. You're going to enjoy it. Your body's going to be happy to eat it. I promise you. So this has been Chef Dre Blast with today's recipe coming straight for you. And remember, pay attention to what you do. Be safe in the kitchen. Holla.
All right. Now we're right at 7 o'clock. All right. So everybody tilt your bowls towards the camera. Let me see what these cucumber tomato salads look like.
Ooh, good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Oh, Alyssa, boy, I like that. Good cuts over there. Good way to cut that cucumber large, Adrian. Quentin, put it a little closer to the computer for me. A little closer to the camera. Oh,
I
man.
gotta take a picture. Let me take a screenshot of this.
Hey, Quentin, I like the consistency between all your vegetables.
Wait, let me
like the
get
consistency.
in there.
Malachi, let me see what you got. Sanaya, let me see up there. Look at Jazzy Ted.
Okay.
I'm trying.
Bonnie, let's go. Liv, did you put yours up there already or did I miss it?
Yeah, let me see. I'll put it right up to the camera so I can take a photo. Come on,
You
Quentin.
said it don't look
Put it
good.
up.
Oh, you're not
Put it
done
up,
yet?
put it
Okay,
up,
keep
put it
going.
up. Put it up, put it up, put it up. Let me see
Show your
it.
bowl. Show your bowl.
Let me see your bowl. Come on, Liv.
Vonnie, you eating? Show your bowl.
Yeah, no eating
Eat
yet.
and
We
show
gotta
your
see your
bowl.
bowl first.
Yeah, she's gonna take a screenshot of it. So put it up there.
Oh, I gotta see it. You gotta show your bowl. Open the bowl or like face it towards the camera. 1, 2. Malachi, where you at?
You know, Malachi trying to chef it up with his
I was about to say
lettuce and
Malachi's
asking
getting
about his.
garnished.
Oh.
Olivia, you got
Okay,
yours?
wait a minute. Everybody put it down for a second. Put it down for a second. We gotta wait on Malachi already trying to be top chef tonight. Quentin, don't be like that, Quentin. Don't be like that, Q.
Like, I'm ready. I got this. I'm good.
Quentin's like, I'm done. I'm ready to eat. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to put this on top of a burger. Let's go. Let's go. Malachi, I'm only being nice to you because Liv is still cutting up the rest of her cucumber. So she's probably going to beat you, Malachi, at this point. Yeah, see, she's even shaking her head, yes. All right. So we're a couple of minutes over on class, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and take this picture because I don't want to belabor any more time for you guys. So Liv, I know you've cut up all your vegetables. So put them all together of what you got right now and pop it up on the screen. All right, now it's time to present your dish.
All right, come on, Malachi.
I promise you, Alyssa's been over here like a statue. She ain't moved. I mean, I looked away and looked back and said, wait a minute, she ain't pulled her bow back or nothing. She's like, mine is the best. I am unstoppable.
Wow, look at Malachi.
Oh Lord, look at this.
Malachi showing out.
Malachi trying to show out. I see. Oh, he's making dinner for the fam. It looks like. All right. I see.
Help over there. Oh.
All right. Oh, that looks
good.
Liv, that does look good.
Yes.
I love the cuts. All right, put them up to the camera, Rosie. Take that picture.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Face it towards the camera. Face it towards the camera. Here we go. Yes. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Beautiful.
All right, Rose. You got the picture, Rose?
Yeah, I got it on my phone. I was trying to do it on my Mac, but I don't know how to do a screenshot on the Mac.
I can do it. Oh, everybody left.
Oh, no. Real quick. Let Miss Chastity get y'all photo. I don't know how to do it on the Mac.
It's Shift Command 4.
Command 4?
Shift Command 4.
All right.
Okay.
Picture number 2. I know you guys are used to taking a bunch of pictures for the gram. Let's go.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take a screenshot. Shift Command 4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if it did it.
I did it.
Okay.
In case you didn't.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Oh
Everybody,
gosh,
give yourself a round of applause.
Awesome work, guys.
That is so awesome.
I see you, Quentin. I see you, Quentin.
Olivia's taking pictures of her masterpiece. Go ahead.
All right. So,
Junior chef.
To finish up class, thank you guys so much for being here today, coming off camera, participating in the very, very simple cooking class. So this is actually going to be, somebody's got to go back on mute. So this is actually going to be one of the options for your final end of course work. You're going to have an opportunity to come up with your own recipe to present at end of course. You're also going to have another opportunity. I believe Ms. Colette has a plan your own event as the other course, end of course thing. So you get an opportunity to plan, like an entire vacation for yourself from top to bottom. So you'll have an option between those two for your end of course grade. So be thinking about your recipes. You should have my email address. So if you have any questions, hit me up. I got some videos on my YouTube page. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. Send me a message just about anywhere. I answer them all if you need any help or any direction. In addition to that, since we got everybody on here, don't forget, look in the chat, click on the course survey form. It's in the chat right now.
Yep, Tiana just dropped it in the chat. Please, everyone, can you please fill out the survey?
Stop prepping your salad. Give me about 2 minutes to take care of this survey. Click on the survey. Tell me what you thought of the class. And then after that, go enjoy your salads, go have it with your family, cook you some chicken, some steak. If you're vegetarian, just enjoy all of your salad, doesn't matter. But please take time to click on the link, the course survey and evaluation. And once you click on the course survey and evaluation, kids, we are done until the next class. Put in your calendar September 10th for Rock the Block. And then our next class will be this Thursday when we will have Latanya Barlow bring us hotel, lodging, and careers. It's going to be that class. All right. And then once you're done, just give me a wave, a high five in the chat, man. I'll see you on Thursday. Thank you, Alyssa. Your dishes were awesome. Thank you. I see Malachi stepping out there.
Great
Quentin,
job,
good.
everybody.
Hey,
Great job.
good job. You guys did well
Great
following
job.
directions, man. I appreciate you guys.
Yes.
I appreciate you so much.
Have a good night, everybody.
The surveys are coming in. We have 3 so far. Thank you so much.
Great job.
We got another. Thank you so much.
You guys are rock stars.
Okay, 5 responses.
And another. Yeah. All right. Malachi, what happened?
Oh,
Yvonne, did you finish? Oh. Malachi, did you finish your survey?
Okay. It's in the chat.
You might have to share it again because sometimes when you log out and come back
Resend the
in.
link.
There it is. It's there now, Malachi.
Okay, the link is in the chat.
Actually, I think Malachi's the only one left.
Okay.
Oh, Bonnie, did you finish it?
Oh, I see who responded. I didn't know I gave the email. Aha. Okay.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Hi, Naomi.
And Malachi. Okay. We have 7.
Excellent. I think we had a total of Tiana, what do we have? 12 and 9, 10? Because there was 5 of us. So 9 in the class? That's good. That's good. That's good. I'll take that. Malachi, I always try to get the extra stuff at the end. You see him? All the time.
Good night, Malachi.
Bye, Malachi.
Go get your money, boy.
I counted 11 students, but I guess some of them didn't get to.
I was gonna say Kevin dropped off, Jalen dropped off.